Hey guys, welcome to the stream. We're going to go over the new patch that just came out today. I think an hour ago. Company of Heroes 3 2.1.5 patch. Normally don't do this. If you're new to the channel, this is Company of Heroes 3 primarily. And I wanted to see if I could go over these patch notes, mainly as an allies player. And so this is the 2.1.5 patch notes, Opal Scorpion, that came out in summer, I believe. And we'll go through this and hear my reactions to this. So it says this update focuses on adjustments to the multiplayer metagame following on the release of Scorpion 2.1, which was in June. Targets dominant builds for all factions to make room for more variety in play. And so a lot of the complaints that I had seen on Reddit, and I mainly go on Reddit, so I'm excluding information that may be relayed on the forums, if those still exist, but mainly from Reddit, and there's a lot of complaints about some various units. I'm seeing that there were changes, so I figured this is a great opportunity to go through them. So first things first, auto match cooldown has been removed from 1v1, meaning that if you quit the match, you don't have to vote to surrender. That was a big problem, a big complaint that I saw, was that even if you were one, if it was only just 1v1 and you quit, then you would incur a penalty just from quitting, which doesn't make sense because you'd be penalizing. The penalty was for leaving your teammates, but if there are no teammates, then you wouldn't incur that penalty, so that makes sense. Okay, constructible defenses. Some buildable objects have their construction time increased to slow down how quickly areas can be locked down or fortified. This makes building units easier to catch out of position when establishing defenses in the frontline sectors. Tank traps increases from 7 to 9. Sandbags 4 to 5. Barbed wire 2 to 3 seconds, 3 to 4. The barbed wire, that one was, in my opinion, I think that was really fast. Is a pretty fast way to build barbed wire. Tank traps were in a good spot. It's funny because every time I try to build tank traps, it's always right when the enemy is coming. So I never usually get to finish my line of tank traps. Let's see, U.S. Forces. U.S. Forces Support Center has been the go-to tech choice, that is true, and has been dominant in high-level 1v1s. We've reduced the power on some key enablers such as the bazooka team, scouts, and the M3 half-tracks. Yep, we are acutely aware that the barracks tech choice has been languishing despite the changes given to bars. Attack this problem by going after one of the Axis counters, but intend to make deeper changes. Yeah, there was like no point to go in rifles because you just had a better chance of survival doing weapons, because not only you get AT from bazooka, you get the MG as well. And barracks was just, apparently they didn't scale that well in late game. Scout squads were too efficient in combat due to the variancy, which allowed them to reach V1 in early game. This apparently was a big problem in 1v1s, which I'm not. I rarely play 1v1s, and when I did, I lost badly. But anyway, like I said in the beginning, this is going to be from a perspective of a allies main that plays mainly team games. So if you're a 1v1 or 2v2, maybe this probably won't be very insightful to you from my commentary on this. Next up is the Artillery Observer Squad. Okay. Too efficient, similar to pre-nerf Pathfinders. We are standardizing the cost to match the price increases. That's fair. Artillery Observers were a little OP. They were very effective. it was one of those you place it down and almost a fire and forget type thing. So in order to fix that, they increased upkeep from 1.1 to 1.5, pop cap or pop cost 5 to 6, reinforced cost increase. Okay, 32. That's fine. Veteran sees lower or received accuracy bonus. Yep, reduced from 15% to 10%, which means they'll be hit more often at V1, or at least it won't be as strong. V2 accuracy bonus reduced from 30 to 25%. Rifleman squad. Riflemen currently suffer from facing a wide array of cost-efficient counters, which overshadows their general efficiency in combat. Some of these are receiving changes to indirectly boost the viability of riflemen. We're also reducing their veterancy requirements to improve their V2 timing. Okay. Jeeps. Let's see. Veterans have been fixed. Previously, they were much higher than intended and did not follow the formula of X2, X3 for levels 2 and 3. Okay. Standardizing. Bazooka team. Bazooka teams have been overperforming. Very true. Both highly effective against light vehicles early game and having strong scaling with powerful veterancy bonuses. This allowed the US forces to reliably sit on basic tech. That's very true. It got to a point where you could just live off bazookas and MGs until your tier 3 units come out. And let's see, they increase the veterancy requirements. Setup. Steady fire setup increased from 3.5 to 7 seconds. Excuse me. That's crazy. 3.5 to 7 seconds. So it's one of those units you just... And I think this was the intent of the unit, was you have them sit in a place, stay in place. And that was more to deter, like a zone control thing. So now I'm seeing this as a unit that you probably won't want to take to the front lines. It's more of a defensive unit now. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. M3 personnel carrier and medical variant. It became difficult to contend with in the early game thanks to its fast timing durability against early game infantry small arms, allowing players to move point blank into standard infantry squads. Health is reduced, frontal armor is reduced as well. M3 assault carrier. 10. Oh, so both of them are reduced from 10 to 7.5, which is interesting. I don't know how Lim is going to like that. As for the gun motor carriage, GMC, let's see. Make it less effective against heavy vehicles at long range. Currently, the unit allows a player, when combined with the bazooka teams, to remain on weapons port center. Yep, for most of their anti-tank options, thanks to the unit's price and lack of additional tech requirements. We have also increased the upgrade cost. Interesting. Penetration reduced, so they won't be as... Oh, you gotta go up close and personal with these things now. Sometimes conversion upgrade cost 30 to 40 seconds. And the cost increased from 60 to 75. Munitions. More expensive, takes longer to get. Mortar pit armor reduced from 5 to 3. Wow, okay. There's some nerfs going on with the US here. We want to improve the paratrooper unit's performance as it scales throughout the game. To do this, the experience requirements are lowered, and we are improving their bonus veterancy to increase their offensive potential. 1200, 3060, okay. Oh, okay, so paratroopers will be... Probably see a little more paratroopers. Fire bonus increase, finish your run and properly affects all attack speed stats. Okay, so paratroopers will probably replace the bazooka squad if you go with the paratrooper BG. Supply drop. The supply drop, we're going to have increase or scatter, increase to reduce how often crates stack on each other. Increase scatter from 8. Okay, that's good. I like that. Haven't used those in a while. War Machine command point cost increase from 3 to 4. Resupply operation. Cost reduced from 180 to 150. Okay, that's pretty good. Increase scatter from 0 to 8 meters. Okay, so that means that makes it a little more tempting for resupply. You get an AT gun and I believe some munitions from that. Whiz Bang. We are adjusting the projectile arc of the Whiz Bang to be lower, allowing it to get its rockets onto target faster. Now always fires in a low arc. Rocket speed 60. This was an issue I was seeing with Whiz Bangs. They would hit a lot of buildings, even with this arc. And now we're going to see it hit shot blockers even more now that it's lower. But they will get to their target faster. Okay. I saw some people saying that it's a buff. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Okay, Wehrmacht having key dominant units. Okay, so here's where it gets I don't know. I'm just going to read these out. I'm not sure how much it will affect. Oh, at least how much I can provide insight onto these. Headquarters. Medical stations upgrade costs increased from 150 to 200. The low cost of medical stations made mid-game transition for Wehrmacht too sharp. This allows for their changes in intensity of allies more breathing room. Kettenkrad having build time sped up, allowing players to gain more map control faster. This could create a more dynamic early game where the Kettenkrad is chosen to quickly capture the map over multiple pioneers. Wow, you can get more Kettenkrads faster. Okay. And replace them faster too. Grenadiers continue to struggle to earn their veterancy due to their low lethality. Veterancy increases 221. Radio antenna cost increase from 35 to 50. Okay, let me see this. Made it too effective against units like the Humber. Destroying it in 2 shots. Okay. Changes increases the number of shots it kills certain vehicles by 1 while it's still retaining its high accuracy and mobility. Okay. A blinding shot reduced. Marder 3. Wow. Faster veterancy. Whirlwind. Decreased armor. More vulnerable to light cannon fire from allied light vehicles. I wonder if this would affect the Aussie 6-pounder. Let's see. Stostrupen. Accuracy bonus. Oh, wow. That's wow. From 20 to 5. Based on their ability. P4s. Let's see. Increased penetration. Dealing with armored targets despite all the only anti-armor option in the Panzer Company. And when combined with other factions such as average speed, mobility, and accuracy could be unreliable at engaging medium armored vehicles, particularly at distance. Okay. Veterancy 2 rate of fire bonus now properly affects all attack speed stats. Fallschirmjäger are too costly. While they could be potent when attacking from ambush, their high cost made it difficult to justify expense. Okay. Cheaper to reinforce. Wow, we're going to see a lot more Fallschirmjägers. Manpower increased. Okay. The Stug. Too effective. Due to how quickly it could fire and its veterancy bonus, reduce the impact of flanks. Or slow down its rate of fire, making its veterancy bonus only affect its frontal armor. Okay. Okay, breakthrough, duration, wow, reduced. And reduce impact of business, does pretty quickly take, retake. You know, I haven't seen this a lot. I have not seen this ability used that much. Mechanized assault crude. This change makes the mechanized assault less efficient. Okay. Okay, Brits, here we go. We're addressing the widespread disparity in effectiveness against between 1v1s, team games for Canadian shock troops. I personally haven't used them as much lately. Some additional changes are made to smooth out early game. Dingo having its early game vision reduced to make aggressive action riskier, preventing it from easily seeing enemy position before it engages. Okay. It will regain the vision bonus as it reaches veterancy. Interesting. Okay. Vision reduced V2 will grant 5+ vision in addition to existing bonuses. Okay. So you can get, well, maybe half of that vision back when they get to Vet 2. B3 vision and detection bonus increase from 5 to 10. Oh, that's nice. I did not know that. Vickers. Build time reduced. Okay, maybe I'll start building more Vickers again. 25 seconds. Okay, we're giving back some of the Bishop's firepower that it lost from the previous patches. The health change has made this unit considerably more vulnerable to counter battery fire and direct assaults. Combined with its slower rate of fire, it made the unit ineffective in its role as artillery. Reload sped up from 375 for 2 to 3. Just standardized to 375. Okay. Barrage recharge sped up from 50 to 45. Holy smokes. Oh, man. So Barry and I usually like to combine this with the ammo store. Ooh, that's going to be good. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that gets affected. We'll see. Making changes in how the pulse effects from the Canadian shock battle group work. While potent in 1v1, the battle group is weak in team games. Unable to provide any benefits to allies, lacks the direct firepower and power off maps of other battle groups, and point captures are more difficult to achieve. Let's see. Oh my gosh, the following abilities now apply to team. I always thought they did apply to teammates. Attacking spirit, offensive resupply, Churchill crocodile, tip of the spear. Wow. Okay, let's see. Reducing how effective the healing is from attacking spirit in smaller game modes, the ability to skip the field infirmary, and continuing to apply pressure to the enemy could be overwhelming when combined with the effectiveness of the British infantry. Wow, so you can heal only 55. That's still a lot. That's still good. We are lowering the ready-to-aim time, yes, of Piats, as they took too long to acquire targets while these weapons will not immediately fire. It will make it harder to back away from the squad without taking damage if the enemy overextends. That was the one thing I didn't like the Piats. They took too long. So by the time you'd have to get really close just to take into account the aim time, so that by the time the vehicle has reversed out of the range, you wouldn't get canceled. So I think this is a good change. Range of the mortar is also increased to allow targets to help it compete against the upgrade. Sweet. The scatter is still high enough to ensure that some mortar bombs will miss and does not guarantee a wipe on the team game squad, a team weapon squad at longer ranges. Mortar barrage increased from 45 to 52. Wow. Okay. Ready time. It's a slight buff. Incendiary munitions. 1 to 2. Okay. Pyrotechnics. Massively overperforming. Yeah, that's right. Fix the accuracy tooltip to properly state that it reduces accuracy by 20%. Speed debuff increased from 25 to 20%. All right, that's That's interesting. 1 second here. I gotta fix something. Did I? Oh, I did do that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's keep going. Pyrotechnics speed debuff and reduced from 25 to 20%. Yeah, that was okay. I'm glad. I felt wrong. How effective the pyrotechnics, the debuff seemed like a lot. Reduces accuracy by 20%. The question is the range. It seemed the pyrotechnics was the range on that. It just seems very large, and you couldn't really tell how you could avoid it because it looked like the explosion was, maybe 5 away, 5 range, and then you'd still get hit or something. The DAC, let's see. Fuel cost reduced from 55 to 50. Wow, they're going to get more. Faster. Oh, allowing units for 8 rad to hit the field sooner. Expect more 8 rads. Okay. Let's see. Veteran squad leaders. Reduce cost from 250 to 200. Assault. That means you might see more units faster earlier in the early game. They have an extra 50 manpower that they don't have to wait for. Assault grenadiers are far too oppressive. Both having the duration to make a full charge, but also retain the bonus long enough to consistently win over superior numbers. Okay, that's good. Maybe overkill, but I don't know. We'll see. Whoa, Mortar Half is too durable to enemy fire. Caught up position with significantly reducing its base health to make the unit vulnerable to enemy fire even with upgrades. 280 to 120. Holy smokes. That's a massive nerf. That's big. I'd have to remember how much damage the bishop does. Or artillery does. Is that a 1 hit? That's kind of... Wow. I mean, I have seen a lot of mortar half tracks. They're a pain. But they're not unmanageable. Okay. Martyr 3. Having fuel cost increased due to cost reduction. Okay. And its anti-tank efficiency when upgraded. Fuel cost 35 to 40. Wow. Oh, but then they can vet faster. Okay. Stug D is too effective. Could fire and visitor bonus reduce how impactful being flanked. We are slowing down its rate of fire, making its veterancy bonus only affect its frontal armor. Okay. Tiger. It's too efficient and is seeing widespread play at all levels and modes. Yeah, I'm seeing like 2 tigers a game. If you wait long enough, you will see a tiger. 220, 240. What would have actually been seen is a lot more panthers. But I think that's not DAC though. But I've seen a lot of that lately. Goliath now remains hidden for 4 seconds when relieve cover, matches other camouflage units. That's great. Every time I used the Goliath when I was playing the DAC, we initially started with Axis when we first played CoH3. And the Goliath was fun, but it was just got revealed too easily. So that'd be good. Okay, let's see. Passive sprint being increased from 30 to 40. Gain the Bursa Glary. Double up against those one before opening at second. Non-HQ can reinforce to give the opponent more time. Targeting the unit's initial speed, giving the opponent more time to bring up reinforcements. Okay. Bug fixes. As previously noted, Canadian Shock Pyrotex stacks its debuff numerous times. Holy smokes. on flamethrower application. I did not know that that was happening. Glad they fixed that. Change behavior artillery radio beacon to retain cooldown progress when monitored and not monitored by... Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. That's great. Every time you'd move your squad, you'd have to reset the timer of when the artillery beacon would fire. And so essentially, if you had your unit go back and forth to observing it and then walk away, and then observing it, it wouldn't fire because the cooldown would always reset. Or no, or is it the other way around? It wouldn't get its second shot out. Cooldown time remaining will now be based on percentage of cooldown. Thank you. Thank you. It always should have been cooldown. That's another bug I've seen with bishops. Is that when your bishop starts its cooldown from the barrage, you just simply walk into the ammo store and the timer gets reduced and then you can walk out. It's not percentage based. Let's see. So cooldown remaining time will be percentage on cooldown, which has progressed, and whether the beacon is monitored, maximum 15 seconds, or unmonitored, 45 seconds. Fixed engineer units have extra 15 weapon range when minesweeper is active. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, they fixed that. Okay. Fixed battle group parajob ability. Abilities aren't unlocked. Yeah, that was weird. When you would build... I think I've heard this with like the weapon support center. You'd hear the audio cue saying that it's ready to drop or something like that. That was a little strange. Localization issues. Map changes. Okay. Well, that was the patch. If you enjoyed this, let me know. If you want me to do more of it. I'm not sure how much I can contribute, considering I'm an ally main and team game. I just don't have enough time to play 1v1s or 2v2s. So it's I'm more of a social gamer in terms of Company of Heroes 3. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you like this, make sure you hit like, subscribe. Feel free to say hi in the chat or comments. Check out the other videos on the channel. And the additional channels for more content in the description. Thanks for joining me, and we will catch you next time.